What's up, YouTube fans? Thanks for joining me on a Saturday night. So today we're going to have a discussion, live discussion. I'm doing this format a little bit different than I normally do. I see there's already a lot of you here waiting. A little bit of housekeeping. So I'm planning to do this every Saturday night. So yesterday I accidentally scheduled this live discussion for Friday night. And a bunch of people showed up, and apparently there was a lot of good conversation on yesterday's live stream, even though I wasn't here. So that's pretty funny. I thought that was cool. So I appreciate you guys showing up again tonight, even though we had this last night and, I wasn't even here. So sorry about the mix up, but for future reference, this will be on Saturday nights. As long as the pandemic is going, that's how it's going to be. I'm going to have basically every Saturday night we'll do a live. And this is about you guys. So I get to share your comments. I get to hear your feedback, hear your thoughts. So this is really a time to interact and time to hear from you, time to hear what you guys are thinking. So that's what this is about. And my title for this video is a little bit misleading. So it says, "Our masterpiece and third-party transformers leaving people behind," right? Is the price leaving people behind? It's not necessarily really about price, but value is where the conversation comes in. So let me just start by saying, again, thank you for everyone who joined yesterday and is joining again today. I really appreciate you coming back. So let me kind of show you why we're having this conversation, what we're talking about, what sort of kicked off me even doing this. This is the X-Transbots Facebook page. Let me say hi to a bunch of people who are here. Extra Zero, what's up? John Berkhammer. Mike Lorber, Jason Stabler, John Bergenemeyer, all of you, thanks for joining again from previous days and commenting. Anthony Ortiz, everybody, thank you for joining. So this, yesterday and the day before, we had two posts by X-Trans. This is their Facebook page. And this is kind of what set people, afire, is this trailer is going to cost us $230, and this is after a long wait. I'm just trying to catch up people who may not know what's happened the last day. So this is set at $230 from the retailers. It may not be the price that X-Transbots set, but that's at least what we're seeing on the Chosen Prime and a few other retailers. And the assumption was, yeah, this gives you everything. It's going to come with everything you need to combine Menasor. It's a hefty price for sure. It seems like a lot, but then they released another picture, another post, and you can see there's hundreds of comments, 289 comments. This one's got 338 comments. A lot of angry people in these comments. But then they released another picture. So this is the accessory pack. And they initially had told us that they were going to give us the accessory pack as part of their trailer. And there's actually even comments on this page, on this Facebook page, that say that from X-Transbots, saying all these faces, all these accessories are going to come with the trailer. Now, yesterday we found out it doesn't come with a trailer, and it costs an additional $75, at least retail price. So for both, you're talking now about $300 just for the trailer and for the accessory pack. I'm not going to go through the comments here. You can read that. It is entertaining if you want to go back and read that. But here is the X-Transbots Motormaster. This came out a while ago. I reviewed this. I've done comparisons with the Fans Toys, which is up there. And now we're talking $400. Actually, some more than that. I think this was $130. Someone in the comments can get me. But so I guess I want to know, what do you guys think about this pricing and about the fact that they're giving you two different packages to purchase it, and that we've already gotten this, so we can still form Motormaster, but we need that trailer for the combined mode. And another thing, actually, let me remember to mention one more thing. Another thing we found out was there's some filler pieces in this set. So there's some arm filler pieces, There's some pieces that go onto the car bots that go on his arms to kind of cover up and sort of make him look right. They do come with these other guns, which they all have their own guns. Each of these individually come with their own guns, so you don't really need those. I guess maybe they're a different look, but that's kind of why people are, if you need that set, then you got to pay the extra $75. So now we're talking $430 for Motormaster, his trailer, and all the parts. So I guess I want to talk to you guys about, what do you think? Let's see. So I got one comment here. Paid $100 for Virtus, and apparently is being replaced now to who knows how much. I also have a pre-order for Virtus out there. It's with the Baba Bobo on eBay. It's over 2 years old, and I don't even know if he'll send it to me, honestly. But yeah, so let's talk about this. I kind of want to go back in time and talk about this guy. So this is the Fans Toys Thomas, their version of Astro Train, and this guy retails at $220. That sticker price kind of shocked some people when he came out, but then on the aftermarket, it went crazy. It went to 300, 400. I think right now it's sitting at like 400 to 430 aftermarket. Fans Toys does not set those aftermarket prices. It's the fans and the sellers, the retailers or the resellers. But their retail price was $220. So you're talking a triple changer here. This is $220. If we're paying $220 for this one figure, maybe it kind of makes sense that a center combiner could be around that price. But all right, let me get to some of your comments now. So I've been sort of ignoring. So JH says, any good X-Transit thinks they have built has all been swept away. We all want more choices, just smart choices. Yeah, so I agree. Here I have the whole set. You can see it back here. I bought the whole set. I've been waiting. I am going to buy the trailer. I need to finish the set. I need to do the review. I need to show people whether it was worth the investment, worth the wait. I know a lot of people are out at this point. They're not going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I have them all here, ready to go, ready to combine. But definitely, they definitely left a sour taste in some people's mouths. Trash says, saw a lot of people who said they will not buy it and keep them in alt mode. Yeah, I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. I do have 2 sets of Fans Toys for that purpose, to have them in alt mode. So I'm planning to do that, but we'll see how this turns out. Cannons plug into the rear of the car is represented. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It's a G1 toy thing. So those cannons I showed you, talking about these right here, those are for the G1 toy look. Apparently they combine into a super weird gun right here. It's just, I don't know. It's pretty weird, but it does that. Thanks, John. T-Man, hey, what's up, T-Man? T-Man says if Takara can get away with it. So yeah, Takara, let's talk about that too. So Takara, I mean, T-Man's gonna get mad because I'm gonna bring up MP44 again, but MP44 retailed at $430. If you bought it on Amazon, you could get it cheaper, but $450 to $430. If you bought it on Amazon, you could probably get it $330. But the question here is value. What are you getting for your money? Are you getting value for your money? So I think the prices aren't necessarily the issue, right? It's really, are we getting what we paid for? Are we getting what makes it worth our while to wait and to pay for these things? I think that's where we're at. Let's see. Prince Ross says, I chose DX9 for combined mode and Fans Toys for individual modes. X-Transbots is my least favorite company. To those who went for this, I'm sorry. Yeah, it does suck. I mean, I didn't go for the DX9. A lot of people are saying DX9 actually looks pretty good in combined mode. I haven't purchased any of those. I did look at, I think Reclaw. I don't know if he's online today. Reclaw sent me the DX9, what's this guy called? Breakdown. And it was not great in individual mode. The paint was coming off. They actually had a whole separate set of parts for the car to replace it because all the paint was coming off. So in individual mode, they weren't great. The combined mode looks pretty cool, pretty dope. It's big, it's nice. All right, I got to catch up here, so let's see. Extra zero. I wonder if this is a symptom of a Takara raising their prices. So I think it is, but I also think we're dealing with the pandemic. We're dealing with the rising shipping costs, rising costs of materials, rising costs of the factory, of keeping your workers employed because there's less workers, so you got to pay people more to, you know, cover for other people. So yeah, it's definitely rising costs, but what X-Transbots is doing here and kind of tricking us and raising the price and selling them separately, that's, I think, a different story. Let's see. My take on the trailer is this. I don't know what that means. There's just a comment there. Send a message about 3P about what people are willing to pay. Yeah, that's a good point, Extra Zero. So how far are we willing to go? Are we going to keep going to the hundreds, maybe thousands eventually for a combiner? That's where we're kind of headed. Sewer pipe gun. So Asaf says, I don't know anyone who paid $220 for Fancy Astronaut. I paid $359 at Show Z store. Wow, you definitely paid over retail. So I pre-ordered this Fans Toys. This is from Toy Dojo. Toy Dojo is a legitimate North American retailer, and they were only selling these for $220. That's the retail price. Now afterwards, everybody went crazy and just put whatever price they want, Show Z store included. So sorry you paid $350, but that's aftermarket prices and them just adjusting. All right, let's see. Keith got a little too comfortable with loyalty. Yeah, that's a question, right? Are we going to go back to X-Transbots now, given what they've just done, right? Are we going to trust them for another combiner? You know, I bought these. These were pretty cheap. I think I got these for like $50, $60 maybe. And then, you know, the Motormaster was a little bit more. I didn't even mind that price. I thought that was fine. But now that I've heard about the trailer, it's like, okay, all the cost was on the back end, right? They gave us low prices and then built in the price in the back end. Let me catch up here. JH, if people knew what they were getting into price-wise, they wouldn't be so sour now. They could have made a choice. Yeah, absolutely. I'm in it because I need to review it. I want to show you guys, you know, if it's got the value, if it's worth it, and I need to see the combine mode. That's absolute must. I can't get this far and not show you the combine mode. But for people who are doing this, they might stop here and say, this is it. I'm not going to go any further. By the way, I forgot to mention this one too. So this guy, this is the X-Transbots version of Scourge, their tuned version of Andros. This is $175 retail. The original one was not $175, but they're giving you a lot more paint. There's a lot of paints covered in paint. But again, it comes to a question of value. Are you getting your value for $175? I don't know. I'm not sure if we are. Andrew says, I wasn't in on the set, but it seems like bad business to say everything will be included in the combining parts trailer. Release it as two kits, making their original statement a lie. Yeah, the lie has definitely got people upset. And that's where, you know, my statement about value comes in, right? What are you getting for your money? Should we continue to be loyal? By the way, this figure, this is their X-Transbots drag strip. This is broken in 3 different places. I actually have a second one coming from Toy Dojo because I need to replace it. But this thing has broken multiple times. So they're not the best of quality. They're cool. They look really nice. I mean, this is a beautiful looking car, right? This is just beautiful. But they're not the best quality. But why people were buying them is the price point and the fact that they look good as vehicles, right? And as robots, right? They're good enough. All right, let's see. JH, I paid $220 from Show Z. Of course, it was the first batch. Yeah, the first batch is really the retail price on Thomas. FTs at least doesn't need combining parts to make a trailer, which will save in theory. So FT, you are actually going to get a second trailer. The way they've described it, unless it's changed. The last comment we got from Mr. Dalian JJ. His name is JJ, actually. But he said the trailer, you're going to get a second trailer. So for Motormaster, you'll basically get a second trailer. That trailer will turn into the combining parts. So you are getting a second trailer, but a question has been asked is what price are we going to pay for that trailer? God only knows how that's going to cost. If X-Transbots is charging upwards of 300, you can bet Vans Toys is probably not that far away. Retailers are charging additional $30 to the price. I might have fallen behind on that comment. Let's see. Jason says, I got all three of my FD Astro Trains for $220 a piece at TCP. Yeah, so I did too. I got actually two. I always buy from two different sources just in case one falls through or one doesn't come through. I got one from Nate's Toys and Collectibles. His was actually $200 retail, so he had a really good price on his. T-Man says, yikes, people stay informed on what regular retail is. Yeah, definitely. Don't get tricked by eBay, by ShowZ, by any of these stores that adjust their price on the fly. Buy from a reputable place that actually charges the retail price. If they're not charging the retail price, then you know they're not legit. Right? They're just charging whatever they want. Extra Zero says, the cost of Dr. Egg makes me not want to buy any more of what he has to offer. I agree with you, Extra, so I didn't buy that. I have, it's way up in the corner there, but I have the Hasbro version. That for the price and for the size of it, it's good enough. I'm definitely not going to get Dr. Egg. I considered it just to review it, but then I thought there's no way I'll sell it because nobody's going to pay that price for it. Sean says, it's the hype. Everybody is Transformers collector now. It's just like sneakers. Yeah, the sneaker market has the same problem, right? The aftermarket prices go crazy. The retailers charge whatever they want. So sneakers was first. Sneakers definitely came before Transformers, but yeah, we're headed there. Extras are, I bet they are getting get cocky with their Autobot spike costs since their cup is also 160. So individual bots, let's see. I paid 140 for Coot, which is the Fans Toys version of cup. If they're not in that ballpark, then you know they've got to have pretty good quality. If they don't have the good quality, then it's definitely not going to hold up. And Coot was just re-released at $140. Sorry, I'm pointing like you can see. He is up right there. Over there. All right, let's keep going. Here's something people didn't know about MP44. Sometime in June, Megalopolis had it on clearance for 50% off, $200. Not many people. You just had to be there to get it at the time. Yeah, I mean, even at $200. So for me, it wasn't necessarily the sticker price. It was the value and the quality. I had some issues with mine. T-Man had pretty good luck with his. He was able to fix it, but I definitely had some issues. JH, we appreciate what you do. Thank you. I don't know if you're talking to me or somebody else. Memo says, I knew this was going to happen when I saw the price of the egg. Yeah, I had a feeling too. I mean, there's the pandemic and shipping, and then there's being greedy. And I think there's a little bit of both here. We've got little column A, little column B. There's a little bit of greed, and there's a little bit of, you know, issues with shipping and the pandemic. John says, my concern is X-Trans has done this on Menasor. Whoops, I lost your comment. Holy cow, there's a lot of comments. Then what will they do to us on Defensor? Absolutely. That's the big question right now. Are we going to go in on Menasor or Defensor? Right? Do we really need to wait to find out what are we going to pay? Right? I think they need to come out with a model where they tell us the pricing up front, or at the very least, release the higher priced figures early, and then the lower price figures like these later, so that we don't get that sticker shock and we don't get that surprise. Also, don't lie. Just tell us the truth. Damon says, I'm personally still all in. Price hasn't ever been an issue. Tempe collectors just hope to never move it after combined. So I'm not. So I obviously buy very expensive toys, right? All of these stuff is really high price figures. I also don't have a problem with the price. I think it's what we're talking about is value. That's the issue, Damon. I think we are concerned, are we getting the value for the money that we paid? Because of course, we buy expensive toys. We're collectors. But are we getting what we paid for? And is X-Transbots holding up their end of the bargain? And the same can be said for any company, right? Fans Toys, anyone. Are they holding up their end of the bargain and giving us the value for the money we're paying? Android says, I'm selling my MP collection, displaying my new Chug collection now. Wow, okay. Yeah, we had that conversation last week. Thanks for that comment, Android. We did talk about that. There are a lot of people who are switching over to Earthrise and Studio Series and basically getting rid of the MP because of the price. I totally get that. For me personally, I'm going to stick with MP. I like the best version of particular characters, but that is definitely, you know, a way people can go. BB says, hate the fact they tried to justify the price with a base mode that no one asked for. Yeah, why did they include that base mode? I don't understand it. Right? What was the rationale for increasing the price and throwing in something we really didn't need? Just give me the parts at that point. Just give me the parts and call it a day. Juicidman says, man, what do you guys do for a living? I'm out. I was sucked back in when Fans Project lit the fire, but now this is a mess. It's crazy. Like, dude, you've got the value of your mortgage in your basement. So, and I get you, man. I mean, this is no poor man's game. If you're a collector and you're buying MPs, you have to be ready to shell out hundreds of dollars. I mean, this set's going to be $700 right now. You got to be prepared if you want to play in this game. I totally understand people not sticking with it. So Asaf says, I'll stick to Fans Toys. At least with them, you get your money's worth. Excellent figure, exceptional quality. I'm all in on their Menace store. So Asaf, I also am a big fan of Fans Toys, obviously, but there are tons of people who don't feel that same way. They feel that Fans Toys is overpriced. A lot of it has to do with the aftermarket. They make the aftermarket prices are crazy. But I do feel I got my money's worth for $220. This thing, you know, being a triple changer, die cast and painted, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful figure. But not everyone feels that same way. T-Man says, how did people not know that Fans Toys has a separate trailer? Yeah, that was kind of a hidden comment on TFW 2005. By the way, you can go look that up. You can go to TFW, search on Dalian JJ, and find his comment that they are making another trailer. It's become a monkey see, monkey do for pricing for MPs, master order. Yeah, and I think that's the worry. That's the fear here, right? If X-Transbots is doing this, right, if they do this and we buy it, then what's to say that anybody else isn't going to do this, right? They're just going to follow suit, right? Because we're willing to pay it, so let's charge it. Good comment. Let's see. Got that comment. G-Man again. Nothing about Motormaster says that he becomes a combiner body. Yeah, we don't really know what this does. I think it just sticks into the chest and that's it. David says, the one aspect I hate with third party, the time of arrival. I was forced to cancel Thomas from my Big Bad Toy Store because of that. I know it's not their fault. However, TF Source has been awesome. Yeah, right now is tough for a lot of people, especially with the job market, people losing jobs, people getting laid off, and then, you know, dealing with all the expenses of COVID, whatever those things are. You know, there's a lot going on, and it's not the best time to be doing what they just did and, you know, kind of throwing us a surprise with the trailer. I don't know how to say your name. Chow Bing Bon. How this affect on future Protector X-Transbots? I mean, I guess you know the answer, right? The Protector bots are probably going to be around $700 or so. TF Source is legit. Yes, TF Source is legit for sure. They also had their pre-order at $220. They might have sold some. So a lot of the retailers get aftermarket. They'll buy it and then resell it at a higher price. So they buy it at a higher price and then they sell it at a higher price. So that's maybe what you're seeing if you saw something other than $220. Juice Man, I went Hasbro a couple of years ago because prices were climbing too high. So I've purchased every single Hasbro and Takara Tomy masterpiece to date. The only one I didn't keep so far is the MP44, the Optimus, mainly because I prefer the transform element right here. I think he's a better figure. I just like him better. But I definitely don't have an issue paying the price if we get the value that we pay for. See, Todd says Dr. Egg was outrageous, but to complete a combiner is different. Once you're in, finish up, in my opinion. Tread cautiously after. Yeah, I agree with you. David says, yes, they are. The guy, the customer service is great. I think you're talking about TF Source. TF Source does have some good customer service, but their prices sometimes drive me away. Holy cow, you got a lot of comments. All right, I've fallen way behind. Let's see. I'm going to have to skip some of your comments, so apologize if I don't get to you. Dare says, redoing the scale costs money. The fandom wanted this. They were caught in a rough place. Not an XB fan, but this is just them trying to please the fan base. So that's a good question. What did the redesign cost? Right? They obviously redesigned the entire combiner. Holy cow. We've been going for half an hour here. So I'm going to go for maybe another 10, 15 minutes. But yeah, they redesigned the entire combiner. They had to redesign the parts in order to be a little bit taller and be secure. Of course, that's going to cost money. But when they tell us they're going to include all the parts and then they sell it separately, that's definitely not giving you the value that they told us they were going to give us. Michael says, I'm doing the DX9 Menasor, but I'm just flabbergasted at the cost of the trailer and accessories. Yeah, for sure. Lewis says, they're inflating the prices, trying to make a larger profit. We just need to stop buying the product for the time being. It's all cost of demand. If they see we'll pay a lot, they'll keep the prices high. Yeah, I'm guessing the prices are only going to go up, especially with what's going on right now. We're probably headed into a couple months of lockdown here I'm in New York State. So in the U.S., we are likely in January, next few weeks, going to be locked down, which means everything is going to get expensive. Shipping is going to go up. Prices are going to go up. And, of course, Transformers are going to go up. See, XTB Memo says XTB is trying to make up lost funds due to not having anything new for 8 months or longer. Yeah, I'm not sure. It does seem like they're trying to catch up and make funds or, fund their other projects. But it does seem like some issues. Santa Megatron, nice name. Have you had any trouble ordering from TFSR, specifically ordering larger figures? I ordered a constructor last December. It still hasn't arrived. Not sure if I'm an isolated case or not. No, all the big box stores, Big Bad Toy Store, TF Source, the bigger ones, they are slower at shipping right now. They've got thousands and thousands of orders, so they definitely have slowed down. You're not alone in that. Don says, I feel like part of the problem is that everyone was waiting to see what the other was going to do. FT, XTB, DX9. XTB is reacting instead of innovating. That's a good argument. I mean, it does seem like they're parlaying off of what they think fans' toys might charge for their figures, right? And so they started off so cheap. And one of the reasons they started off cheap, they started off with this guy. One of the reasons they started so cheap is they were trying to avoid being KO'd. There was a KO company that picked this up, and they started making it. And so X-Transbots dropped the cost, I think it was to 50 or maybe even 40. And that sort of drove the KO company away. And they didn't really produce the rest of them. But to put it on the back end sucks. Eddie Powell says, do you think they sold the first releases cheaper and now making it up as a sales tactic? I think they screwed up. I think they made these lower, and then at this point, they can't afford to make it as cheap as these were, and so they've got to catch up. Jason says, make you wonder if X-Transbots would just keep radio silence like most other 3P on Facebook. They've gotten all the backlash. I don't think company is informing their spokesperson enough. Yeah, that seems strange. Why create all this headache for yourself by posting on Facebook? It just seems like an odd decision. FT better not separate trashes. FT better not separate the trailer from Bandit. I don't feel anything over 250 is worth it. I hope that's what it is. I hope Bandit comes with the trailer. It's around 250, maybe even 300. But because it's coming with a figure, right? You're going to get a figure plus the trailer. I'd be okay paying $300 for both of those things, but anything over that, I think is going to be a problem. Extras is, I think they included the base mode to appeal to the people who bought these for individual robots. I still don't agree with it. Yeah, I mean, if you have the individual bots, it's fine. This still makes an individual bot, but yeah, I guess you need the trailer for it. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. I'm falling behind, way behind on comments. Antoine says the base mode is there because the original one had it, but technically that's meant for. Oh, okay. I guess you're saying the G1 toy had a base mode, and that's true. I don't necessarily need the G1 toy, but let's see. David says, oh, I'm going to skip that one. Michael says, I have to call out Fans Toys. How many do you need to fix afterwards? So I will tell you my personal experience with Fans Toys and what figures have broken for me. I can't speak to anyone else. I can only speak to my experience. In my collection, let's see, a lot of my Fans Toys are up there. Pretty much only Jabber. Jabber is the only thing I've ever broken. And it's that same piece that everybody breaks on his arm, or I guess on his leg, when you're trying to put the thing together. That's pretty much it. I've never broken anything else. Oh, no, that's not true. I broke a piece on Quietus, his shoulder. And that's it. That's the only thing I've ever broken in Fans Toys was that Jabber and Quietus. But I'll tell you this, Fans Toys, I contacted the service. I, went to Dalian JJ on TFW, and I got the parts within, 6 to 8 weeks, I think a couple months, and fixed it. They replaced it. I've never gotten parts from other companies, so I don't know. I'm not sure if everybody does that same service. So while maybe they do break, they do also fix their figures. Hawkwave says, unlike XTB, Fans Toys value goes up. Even if you buy a figure for $200, $300, you can make that back. Absolutely. Yeah, I will probably never, if I decide to sell this, which I would if Fans Toys makes it, I will probably never be able to sell this for $180 or whatever his retail price is. But hey, we're not in it to invest, right? We're in it to buy and enjoy figures. So if you're using Transformers as an investment, you're probably investing in the wrong thing. Extra Zero says, amazes me the entire Zeta Bruticus and the cost of the trailer accessory pack. That's true. So here, let's turn to this guy, Constructor. So Constructor, I bought for $400. $400 for a full set of 6 robots. This is only 5 robots. Constructor is 6 robots that combine with all the combiner parts, all of the accessories, all the guns, all the faces, everything you need. And that was $400. Now we're talking $700 for a combiner, including all the parts. It just seems a little much. Jorge says, don't buy it. They will keep pushing up the prices. That's definitely likely. John says, my biggest problem is we have an unfinished figure. We've paid $144 and I spent $180 and Fans Toys gave me a finished product. Yeah, that's true. Right? I've got an unfinished figure here. I've had it for a long time. Actually, I've been waiting to friggin' finish this review for you guys so you can see what it's like. And now that I've got it, I have to buy it. I have to buy the trailer. So I know you guys are saying don't buy it, but I kind of have to. Hey, Pac, what's up? Antoine, are we buying figures just for value to potentially sell later, or buying it to put on our shelves and watch it collect dust? So me personally, I am buying figures to put on my shelf, but I do want good value. So I like to go to restaurants, and they may be expensive, but I'm willing to pay more for good value in a restaurant, right? You can get a burger at McDonald's, or you can get a gourmet burger at your favorite burger place, and you can say, well, yeah, I would just go get the cheap one because a burger's a burger. But to me, I'm willing to pay more if it's a good value. If I'm getting a good amount, it's good quality, it tastes good. Same for my Transformers. I'm willing to pay more if I'm getting value. So it's not really for resale. It's really for What am I getting for my money? All right, I think I've caught up. If I haven't, I probably skipped a bunch of people. Daniel says, I started with X-Transbots for my Menasor, but since my Omega Supreme is the Fans Toys version, I thought it would be wise to switch to the Sendicon's Fans Toys because they will match the correct size. Yeah, so I am very excited about these guys. I hope the Fans Toys one holds up. I think right now there are some issues. And just so you're talking about, here's the size difference that he's mentioning. So this is the Fans Toys, and this is the X-Transbots, and it is bigger pretty much in every dimension. But I bought the Fans Toys. I bought 2 sets because I have a feeling they're going to be pretty good in combined mode. But it's an expensive bet I'm making. Mike says Keith wanted to pull all the stops out on XTB's first combiner with something nobody has done. The trailer with the base mode, combined mode, and the base mode. Sometimes something amazing costs money. Mike, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I mean, I hope they make something amazing. I will say I haven't had the best luck with this set. I've had some issues. I've had a couple breakages on this guy. This figure isn't as sturdy as I would think. There's a couple little tabs that are broken, but I'm hoping, not broken, but they're fragile. I'm hoping that the trailer is good quality and that the combiner is solid like Zeta. If that's the case, I'm with you, man. I'm willing to wait and pay. But if it's anything like any of these, I'm a little worried. Greg says, it's really use the hunt for the best version with your price point. The quest addiction never ends. That's true. The addiction never ends. We're always going to be after the better, the better figure, right? The one that looks better or transforms better or lasts longer. So yeah, absolutely. I am going to replace figures if there's a better one out there. I'm not buying it with the intent to sell it, but I will sell it if I find something better. So that's absolutely true. All right, I'm going to take a few more comments, and then we're going to call it for today. If you join me late, we're going to be doing this every Saturday. As long as the pandemic is going on, we'll be doing this live discussions. Excuse me while I take a drink. So I know I screwed up the scheduling yesterday, and people did join, and they had a good conversation, so I'm glad you guys had a good conversation. But expect these to be every Saturday night at 9 o'clock. We'll go for probably like 30 to 40 minutes each Saturday. I'll have a different question each time. This is about you guys, so I want you guys to be able to have good discussion, feedback, tell me what you're thinking about the latest things that are going on in the Transformers community. That's what this is all about. This is about you guys and spending time with you. So that's what we'll do every Saturday, as long as I have my Saturdays free, because I'm not going anywhere due to the not being able to travel, not being able to do anything on Saturdays. We'll do this with you guys. Let's see. BB says, Rising Force must be thinking XTB's flop is a wish come true for those looking into other companies now. Yeah, so Rising Force, I haven't even seen any figures come out yet. I don't know if they're still making that set. I mean, if they've got a good value price, that might be an option for people who can't afford to finish this combiner. I totally forgot about them. I didn't even remember that they were out there. Mike says, considering ZX9 and FT have done that, more people should take into consideration. It says something about advanced engineering. I really do like the advanced engineering of Fans Toys, and I think even DX9, some other engineering, not all of it, but that's what I look for in Transformers. Mr. Drennan says, this is a fun but expensive experiment to get an MP combiner. We won't pay for them all, so they better do a good job. Yeah, I personally am paying for them all, but the normal, typical person is not going to do that. The reason I pay for them all is because I need to review them. So I buy them all, and then I keep the one that works for me. But the typical person isn't going to buy them all. Unless you're Jay Stabler, you might buy them all. But for me, I'm buying them just so I can review them, so I can compare them. I am going to compare the Fans Toys set to the X-Transbots set, the fully combined version plus the individual bots. So you'll see that on my channel. I do the versus videos every so often. So I'm going to continue those. We do have reviews coming up. So we have the Hasbro Kingdom Rat Trap, which is coming up. I've got that on the way. And then we also have some non-Transformer reviews. I decided to look at the Mandalorian and the Child. So that's coming up. Thank you guys for joining actually, let me take one more. It looks like a question. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask because I'm going to end in a minute or two. Alan says, do you think we're not the reveals like we used to because of 3P companies copying each other and bots they pick? Definitely. I think they've stopped revealing things because they know other companies are going to copy them. They know other companies are going to even look at their design and start trying to take the best parts of their design. Fans Toys does that for sure. That's one of the things that people have complained about with Fans Toys is they do look at what other companies did and then improve upon it, make it better. So I think that is a thing. I think there's the competition has potentially reduced the number of reveals we get until they're very close or closer to being a finished product. Damon says, Fortress Max kids will be eating cheese and crackers for the next 2 years. I don't know when we'll ever get Fortress Maximus. I hope we get it. It's going to be expensive for sure. But that, what you're getting, right? You're getting that thing is this tall. It's almost 3.5 feet tall, the Fort Max. It is not going to scale with your collection, but it's gigantic. So if you buy that, you're buying something that's humongous. And so you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay a lot. It's bigger than any combiner we've ever bought. Mr. Drennan, your Versus series is super legit and a great addition to the channel. Thank you, Mr. Drennan. I appreciate that. Definitely, if you guys keep watching it, I'll keep making them. But we will do the Versus on this whole set right here. I definitely want to let you guys know which one I prefer. Tasman says, makes you think twice about buying the bots as they come out instead of waiting till things are finished and see what's going on. So I think that's a legitimate statement for X-Transbots, but for Fans Toys, you can't wait. If you wait, you will not be able to get it. You'll have to pay a crazy amount. So this guy is already, he's already gone up in price, and he's not even that old. He just came out last year. So if you didn't buy it when he came out, you're probably going to pay, 30 to 50% more just because you waited. X-Transbots, you could probably still get this guy. You could probably still find him for a decent price. X-Ray says, are you going to take a look at MMC's Moors and Tortor? Those are probably two of my top. Extra Zero, I don't collect any of the DJD or anything from that line, so probably not. I know they're pretty good figures. Pig for Life has reviewed all of those. He gets those figures from MMC since he does the video manuals. So definitely check out Pig's channel. He has all of those videos already up, and he's already looked at everything. John, the tough choice is if you wait, you either miss out or have to pay late tax. Yeah, that's what I was just mentioning, right? You got to pay the late tax if you decide to wait. I don't think you're going to pay the late tax on these. These are, still available. By the way, this has lights on. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. It's got light up headlights. Yeah, these you could probably still find, or you could get it even third aftermarket, but Fans Toys, you better get them now if you want them. Let's see. I'm going to take one more comment. Trash says if Fort Max is released after the pandemic, he won't be as expensive as he would be if he came out during it. Absolutely. It's not going to come out during the pandemic. They've already told us that it's not coming out in 2021. So the shipping would be ridiculous. It's probably upwards of $100 just for shipping. Luckily, they're shipping it in parts. So That's really it for today. We are going to have news next week, so we'll have T-Man and Pick for Life with me taking a look at news and reveals. We'll probably shortly talk about the X-Transbots reveal, but all the other new figures, we'll look at everything. Yeah, so join us next week on Wednesday. So we always do news on Wednesdays. It's usually the second or third Wednesday of the month, but we're just doing one before the Christmas season. So the other thing you can look forward to is I'll be doing my top five, or I guess top three. Might be top five because we have a lot of figures this year. So top five best and worst figures for 2020. Again, this is going to be just from my collection, what I purchased. And we'll also be doing kind of a year-end wrap-up type of thing, potentially with T-Man and Paik. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me. Join me again next Saturday for another live discussion with a different question and a different topic. And we'll see you.